Welcome back. I'm absolutely thrilled you're joining me for this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a massive step forward for India's infrastructure. We're talking about a real story of steel, wheels, and meticulous strategic planning. Okay, let's dive into this.
Section 1, a proud logistics milestone.
To really grasp the sheer magnitude of an evolving industrial landscape, it always helps to start with one highly specific event. Our journey begins at the Tuticorin port in Tuticorin with this number right here, 100. It's a clean, solid figure, right? But in the context of heavy industrial logistics, it represents a massive, complex puzzle that had to be solved. So what exactly is being moved here? I mean, are we talking standard shipping containers, heavy agricultural machinery, maybe bulk commodities? Well, the answer is actually a major indicator of exactly where the future of global transportation is heading.
That mystery number, it represents 100 Vinfast electric vehicles. And we aren't just talking about a slow, steady trickle of cars here. This was a massive, highly coordinated dispatch of finished, high-value goods. These 100 state-of-the-art EVs were successfully loaded and dispatched by rail, kicking off a long, complex journey from the southern coast at Tuticorin all the way up to Balafgard in Haryana. Just imagine the incredible coordination it takes to safely and efficiently move 100 modern electric vehicles across the entire country in one single go. It's literally like solving a giant moving puzzle. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how exactly they pulled this off. They didn't just drive these brand new EVs onto standard flatbed train cars. No way. They utilized NMG wagons, which stands for Newly Modified Goods Wagons. These are newly introduced rolling stock specifically designed for moving customized, delicate cargo, like automobiles. It shows a vital adaptation in railway technology, shifting from just moving bulk raw materials to actually handling specialized finished product logistics. It's tailor-made infrastructure rolling right there on the tracks. And an event of this specific scale and technical requirement doesn't just happen in a vacuum. It certainly doesn't go unnoticed by the industry, for sure. To mark the milestone, key logistical figures like Shri Sanjeev Garg, former additional member of the Railway Board, and Shri Sriram V, former director of IRCTC, stood side by side with corporate officials from Vinfast and leadership from the VO Chidambaran Port Authority. This really highlights the deep collaborative nature of this dispatch, its public infrastructure seamlessly meeting private enterprise.
Section 2, inside the marshalling yard. Now that we've seen the specialized train and the cargo it carried, we really need to zoom out to the physical, state-of-the-art ground infrastructure that made this entire dispatch possible in the first place. You need a highly specialized, engineered environment to stage and load 100 cars onto a train efficiently. And that brings us to another absolutely crucial number, 16.25. That is the sheer physical scale of the VO Chidambaran Port's marshalling yard, measured in acres. To put that into perspective, 16.25 acres is a massive, sprawling footprint. It's not just some open space. It's a dedicated hub specifically organized for staging, managing, and executing complex cargo movements. So what exactly fills those 16.25 acres to make the whole shebang so incredibly efficient? Well, the yard is purpose-built with dedicated RCC, that's reinforced cement concrete, loading platforms. Basically, this means it has the heavy-duty durability required for constant, heavy industrial use day in and day out. It also boasts its own internal road infrastructure to keep truck and cargo traffic flowing freely without any annoying bottlenecks, and most importantly, it features seamless rail connectivity. These specific, purpose-built elements combine to create a modern, incredibly efficient gateway for cargo movement. Section 3. Powering India's mobility ambitions. Let's move to and see how this builds out to the true macro level. And this brilliantly illustrates the core philosophy of modern supply chains. On one side, you have the tangible reality we've been discussing, the purpose-built infrastructure like those concrete platforms, the expansive yard, and the modified wagons. Then, this physical infrastructure directly yields a massive abstract benefit, multimodal connectivity and faster cargo evacuation. By moving cargo faster and combining road and rail, which is what multimodal actually means, ports transform into dynamic, high-speed nodes of a much, much larger economic engine. I want to read this quote directly from the source material because it just perfectly summarizes the overarching vision here. Quote, "Committed to building the logistics capacity needed to power India's manufacturing and mobility ambitions." So the crucial point is that this single shipment of 100 electric vehicles isn't just some one-off success story. Actually, scratch that. It's more like a calculated proof of concept. It matters on a national scale because it proves that the logistics capacity is actively being built and refined to match the incredible pace of a nation's manufacturing and mobility goals. Which brings us to our final provocative thought. How will this expanding logistics gateway continue to shape the future of India's industrial mobility? As EV production ramps up and manufacturing demands inevitably skyrocket, purpose-built infrastructure like the Tuticorin marshalling yard will be the vital, beating arteries keeping the economy moving efficiently. I want you to keep that question in mind as you continue to watch the industrial landscape evolve. Thank you so much for diving into this explainer with me. And as always, keep learning.